How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about these so-called doctor videos of Nancy Pelosi that have been floating around the internets over the past 24 to 48 hours. Now, before I even get into it, I need to explain what's happening here. The mainstream media is making a mountain out of a molehill, and they're being deceptive themselves while they say that so-called Trump supporters and Trump himself is being deceptive. They're saying that the first video, which you're about to see in a moment, was edited deceptively, and the so-called Trump supporters sharing it online. Now, I don't know how you're able to go and see who's sharing what. Are you able to go call them and see if you vote for Trump? Are you a Trump supporter? It seems like kind of a blanket labeling, but I digress. Check out this first video, and then after we get done with that, I'll talk about how that was edited deceptively, and then I'll continue with the rest of the story.
And that, but and then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals that obviously were planned long before I said most currently that he was engaged in a cover-up. And then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals that obviously were planned long before I said most currently that he was engaged in a cover-up.
Okay, so that particular video right there was slowed down. The speed of the video was slowed down, so it enhanced Nancy Pelosi's slurs in the speech, because let's not get it twisted. Nancy Pelosi does slur in the speech. She's like, 78 years old, not a young lady anymore, and the speech is kind of shaky at best. In videos where it's not slowed down, you see some noticeable slurs. People are saying that she sounded like she was drunk. Well, she may or may not have been drunk, but that video was edited to be deceptive, to change the original content to a different thing. Now, the media is showing you that video, and they're saying Trump supporters are sharing it. Then they'll say Trump himself shared a video that was also heavily edited. So you see what they did there. They're trying to make that video you just saw the equivalent of this video.
We had took a little longer on the floor, custody of the border. Everyone, he started sending signals, the U.S., Mexico, Canada. If that's not the accurate character, some people call it after NAFTA, some call it NAFTA 2.0, working together to make past that. Not if we're the three things. We're very busy people.
Okay, last time I checked, this is 3, not this.
Now, this video was not doctored. It was not altered. Yes, it was edited, but not in the same way the first video was edited. You see what I'm saying? Let me explain if you don't understand. The second video you just saw was edited to show highlights. It's like when you watching Sports Center or something like that. They're not going to show you an entire 3-hour football game and just go through each thing point by point on Sports Center. They're going to show you the highlights, the key moments, the top moments of the game, and talk about that in a very quick fashion. Cable news, everything else is the exact same way. You don't have that much time. You're dealing with segments that's like 8 minutes tops at the most where you go to a commercial. You don't have time to be showing these press conferences and talks and whatnot that last an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, just like with Ben Carson. They showed 2 clips, or really 1 clip of the whole Oreo kerfuffle. They ain't showed the whole 3.5 hour testimony. All they showed was that one particular part to highlight it and talk about that. Okay, that is editing. It's not deceptive because it's all about just trying to get to certain key points. So when they're saying that it was heavily edited, they may be correct, but it's not edited in the same way the first video was edited. This video was edited to just show you specific points. It was not altered. Her voice was not changed in any kind of way. The only difference between the one original source video and what Trump had retweeted from Fox News, by the way, and talk about that for a moment. Why not say that Fox News posted the so-called altered or heavily edited footage? Why just say Trump? But I digress. The only difference between the two videos was the quality. When you upload a video to YouTube, you can get basically like 4K. I'm talking about maximum quality. and that includes the audio and the video. Now, if a video was uploaded to YouTube that way and it's taken off of YouTube and uploaded to Twitter, it won't be in that high of a quality. It'll be like 360p, which is much less quality. Not only will it affect the way the video looks as far as any kind of graininess, it will also affect the audio, because audio and video are affected by the quality and also the bit rate. So if there's any difference, it's the quality in the actual video that has been uploaded, and not any kind of doctoring that made the video look different than what it was from the very beginning, like the first video was. You see what I'm saying? So the media are trying to push this whole thing of, oh, Trump and Trump supporters, you're engaging in, fake news, and you pushing this stuff, and the deep fakes are coming. And let's talk about deep fakes for a moment. Ain't no deep fake coming. Like, that's just a fear tactic. I mean, look at it like this. If there's a so-called deep fake of Trump at a press conference that goes around the internet, it's easy just to pull it up and compare it to the original source. There's always an original source when you're talking about the president, Well, usually, I mean, I don't think Trump's going to be like off the cuff talking to some random person in the street for a half-hour interview. It's going to be an official source, whether it be CNN, ABC, Fox News, C-SPAN, the White House official cameras themselves, right side broadcasting. There's always going to be an official source. So if it looks questionable, if it looks weird, you can refer back to the original source. It's like they did with the Nancy Pelosi video from the very beginning. I could tell that it was edited in a deceptive way, the first video that is, because it was some audio artifacts in between her sentences. Not everybody's going to be able to tell, but it doesn't matter, because some of us are going to be able to tell, and you have the original source to refer to. It's very simple. So that ain't nothing more than a scare tactic, and it's also the media being deceptive. They want to talk about us being deceptive. It's them being deceptive. The first video was not shared by Trump. That was just shared by regular everyday people online. The second video was, but it came from Fox News, number one, and number two, there was no actual deceptive editing there. It was editing for time, which is what all cable news does. The same cable news that'll say this is heavily edited will edit their own footage every single day and night and weekend on television, social media, their website, their app, everywhere. That is common practice and has been since the beginning of television. So as I close, I want to say this. The media has some nerve trying to lay the crown of fake news onto so-called Trump supporters and Trump himself. This whole story right here, the way they've been reporting it, is fake news itself. So that was on my chest. I wanted to get it off. Normally on Sunday, I take my day off and I'm good, but I had to get this out there because the media is out of control. They're really desperate, and 2020 is going to be hilarious to see them scrambling, trying to get some traction for the candidate of choice. It'll probably be creepy Uncle Joe, but that's a different story. And again, I digress. What say you? Do you think that the media is reaching here, go gadget arm all over the place, talking about, oh, it's Trump supporters sharing deep fakes, and Trump shared a heavily edited video too? I mean, come on. You don't need to do that much editing, really, to notice that Nancy Pelosi, all the lights are on, but it might not be nobody home. She's a few trees short of a forest. Something ain't really right. The elevator is on, but it's not going all the way to the top. You understand what I'm saying? She's an elderly person. I understand that. But if you're not able to do your job effectively, if you're slurring through your speeches and whatnot, you might want to step down. And this whole thing about editing for deception, editing for time, let's just be clear with what it is. Don't try to conflate things, because the average person may not understand that. See, I've been editing stuff on the computer, video, pictures, audio for half of my life and more. So this is what I know, but the average person may not get that. And that's what the mainstream media counts on. They count on you just not knowing certain things. So when you watch them, you can just tend to believe it because, oh, it's like a trusted source. They know what they're talking about. Every day, day by day, the mainstream media becomes less and less of a trusted source, which empowers those of us that are the alternative media to put out some real information. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.